It is 1444 and Europa Universalis 4, and the nation of Bohemia is only 10 years away from the end of the Hussite Wars, a series of wars that would devastate the lands of the Bohemian crown, lasting between 1419 and 1434. The Bohemian Wars include 5 crusades started by the Catholic Pope against the Hussite movement, as well as a Bohemian civil war to spice things up. That is why we begin with the national tax modifier and manpower recovery speed reduction debuffs, as well as the entirety of our nation completely devastated, with the heartlands of Bohemia having 50% devastation. To give a little bit more of an insight as to what exactly the Hussite Wars were and how they began, well, it all starts in 1402 when a Catholic priest by the name of Jan Hus was fed up with the Catholic Church's squeezing of money out of the Bohemian lands through their indulgences that they needed in order to fight against the Kingdom of Naples. Jan Hus is known as a pre-Protestant figure. However, I personally believe that he was the first Protestant leader Europe had seen, as the Hussite movement is basically on par with the later Protestant movements to come within the next century. Jan Hus himself was also a big fan of the English pre-Protestant preacher John Wycliffe, and having brought some of his ideas over to Bohemia, the Hussite movement gained quite a little bit of popularity all over the Bohemian lands, dividing the nation in two. Jan Hus was invited on the 6th of July 1415 to the Council of Constance under safe passage, at least according to King Sigismund. However, after he arrived, he was quickly apprehended and executed. This led the knights and the various nobles of Bohemia to send a letter to the church as well as to Sigismund, known as the Protestatio Bohemorum, on the 2nd of September 1415, condemning the execution of Jan Hus. As such, Sigismund vowed to crush the Bohemian heretic. Later down the line, around 1419, this triggered the Hussite Wars as we know it. For nearly 2 decades, the lands of Bohemia were completely ravaged by the 5 crusades that the Pope triggered, as well as the small civil war between the Bohemians. Eventually, there was some sitting down and negotiating, and a compromise was established. In 1444, we do not see the end of the Hussite Wars, albeit technically the armed conflict finished. The Pope would still very much so fight against the Hussite in various other ways, as the majority of Bohemia was still Hussite up until the 1600s, when the Austrian Empire, that had gotten complete control of Bohemia by that point, made it a priority to convert everybody that was Hussite to Catholic, by force mostly. So for us in EU4, we have a very interesting start date, and with the new Winds of Change DLC, we have a completely new mission tree with a ton of new missions and 2 separate branching missions, the Catholic branching mission and the Hussite branching mission, which, depending on which choice we make in this particular campaign, we get the ability to purge the Hussite heresy or to have the Hussites resurge and become the dominant religion in Bohemia. But not only, because end of the day, historically speaking, Hussites were not restricted to the lands of Bohemia. There were Polish Hussites, Hungarian Hussites, even German Hussites. And to make another little addendum, the Hussite Wars was so devastating to Bohemia that they roughly, depending on which sources we quote, lost about 1 million population as a result of the Hussite War. The mission tree that Bohemia has is very interesting because it offers a good mix of both playing toll abilities, with things like the Bohemian industry offering 2 years of production, as well as it offers a 20% chance of getting an extra bonus Diplo development. Same here, lowering the devastation in our lands will allow us to get flat tax income and national unrest, as well as it lowers the devastation completely from every owned province in Bohemia, Moravia, and Erzgebirge. There's a lot of other events here, as well as a lot of Conquest CBs and Restoration of Union CBs. Hungarian succession allows us to get a Restoration of Union on Hungary. Consolidate the Silesia will allow us to turn our Silesian subjects into incorporated vassals, which are 25% cheaper to annex. All we need to do for that is just improve relations with them, and then we get a ton more permanent claims around our holdings. Reforging Great Moravia also will allow us to form the nation of Great Moravia, and we get military tactics until the death of whichever leader we might have when we click this mission. We also can get claims on all provinces in Carpathia and the Balkans owned by the Ottomans to protect Christianity as well. Diplo annexation cost minus 15% permanently, alongside 200 governing capacity and possible policies. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to ally as many of the electors as we possibly can ally. Usually Saxony is going to be the one that hates our guts, so we're not going to be able to ally them, but pretty much everybody else we should be able to get an easy alliance early game. We're also going to make rivals out of the Austrians, the Hungarians, and the Danes, which by the way, the Danes were one of the nations that came to fight against Bohemia when the Pope called upon them to wipe out the heresy in the Bohemian lands. The nations that did not really want to destroy Bohemia were surprisingly the Poles. Alright, so we're going to be giving out the +1 mana privilege for all 3 of the estates when it comes down to the estates. Go for whichever agenda is best easy to do. Seize the crownlands, so we end up with 10% crownlands because Bohemia starts with 35% crownlands from day 1. Allow burgher economic freedom, financial demand for the extra national tax, patronage of the arts. However, before we do give that out, we're going to send a scornful insult to the Austrians, so we get 10 power projection as consequence. For the nobility, we give the increased levies, supremacy over the crown, strong duchies, which allows us 2 extra diplo relations and lowers the liberty desire in subjects by 10%, meaning they have very little liberty desire as consequence now, and we can even double down on that by getting a royal marriage with both of these, which in turn means we lower their liberty desire by another 5%. We're also going to give out the grand court positions. For the clergy, we'll give the clerical education, religious diplomat. We're also going to give the minus 15 advisor cost reduction modifiers for all 3 of the estates, but we're going to do that after we've gotten 1 stability, as that will increase the cost of our stability. And we also have a pretty lowered cost because of the religious unity debuff. We are not very united when it comes to our religious perspectives. We're also not going to convert anybody right now because we want to convert them to Hussite later once we have the ability to switch to Hussite. Now, despite the fact that we have pretty high devastation in our provinces, every single province that is within the zone of control of one of our fortifications, which is every single province that has devastation issues with the exception of Heb, will have its devastation lowered 10 times faster. Because of friendly forts, we get minus 1.25 devastation, considerably more than the default 0.08 per month reduction. So to make up for Keb not having a fort in its adjacency, we're going to be encouraging a development in here, and we're going to be developing the province. Every time you develop a province, it lowers the devastation in said province. There you go. We went down to 0.85 after increasing development 2 times. We do start with 10% professionalism, so we're going to be slackening recruitment in order to get some manpower increased faster. We're currently getting 429 each month because of said slackening recruitment. We're also going to be getting the indebted to the burghers loans, which are 1% loans, meaning we pay basically nothing back in interest. And we're going to use these loans to hire advisors as well as to just recruit as many units as possible. We want to go up to maximum land force limit and then some. The Compact of Basel is essentially the reason we have peace in Bohemia right now, and we shall honor the compact in order to ensure that we go down the Hussite path. We're also going to be getting a juicy alliance with the Poles that we're going to be able to use against the Austrians later down the line. Unfortunately, RNG is not on my side. Austria allied England out of all nations. I don't think I've ever seen the Austrians ally England, so this should be very interesting. And to make things even worse, our ally went with the option of getting a local leader, which actually might get them a CB to restore union on us rather than getting their union with the Lithuanian. This is honestly the worst RNG so far. We've lowered the devastation enough so that we can actually get the recovery from the Hussite Wars mission enacted. We also can do consolidation of Silesia now since we got the relations, and as such, we've got 1 major vassal now, Silesia, rather than 2 separate ones. Plus, this is an incorporated vassal, meaning it is 25% cheaper to incorporate. We also can get the restoration of union on Poland now. Oh, this changes things because I got an alliance with them, so I guess I have to cancel the alliance with the Poles now. I'm gonna get this mission in 5 years, and I will be enforcing so we get the Poles as a junior partner as consequence. Now I'm gonna continue to improve the development in Rudohori. We want to get this up to at least 10 production development. Same for Keb here. We want to get this to 10 production development since this is a gold mine. Return of the Hussites. Jan Hus knew the truth, and we get Jiris Podebrad as our new brave leader, the historical king of the Bohemian crown. And we also have Hussite as the new state religion of Bohemia. The other two options not so important because we're definitely gonna go for the first one, replacing one Jiri with another in true Bohemian fashion. This allows us to do End the Regency mission, which allows us to get the Hussite branching side, and this will give us, first off, after we convert all the Bohemian lands to Hussite, a center of reformation in Prague that will act as a means of converting everybody around to Hussite. We also can get the Rekindle the Hussite War aspect of the faith, giving casus belli against neighboring heathens and heretics, and it is time for us to definitely convert everything to Hussite. We're going to be also using our edicts to speed up this conversion of our lands. I think the more EU4 savvy of you already realize what I'm trying to do here. I'm going to be dismantling the HRE. I actually don't think I need to have the HRE around, and by dismantling this monstrosity, I have an easier expansion path afterwards because I will be munching into everything around as consequence. So in order to dismantle HRE, we need to occupy the capital of Saxony, which we're in the process of doing now, as well as the capital of Austria. That's it, because we've allied all of the other electors. Oh my god, dude. Did you see that? That was a 7% siege. What? This is a historic day, guys. This is actually a historic day. I don't remember the last time I got a 7% siege done. Usually it's the AI that takes my forts with 7%, not the other way around. Meanwhile, Palatinate struggling to get Nuremberg with 49% by contrast. Beautiful little Nuremberg. Proud Hussite boys. One objective from this war, take Vienna. That's it. We just have to occupy it. Once that's done, we basically won the war. Alright, boys, so we got Vienna done, which means we can now dismantle the holiest monstrosity imaginable. Clicius Maximus, the Empire finally put its overdue rest. Fully agree. I also wish that this was 25 permanent power projection, but it's not. It's fine. Better than nothing, I guess. Now, the tough part, which is to peace out the Austrians and everybody else. We might actually have to get some mercenaries. All right, please, nobody reinforce this in time, and come on, come on, come on. Yes, baby. All right, that's like, oh, that's a lot of extra unit. Yeah, we're getting out of here. Nope, nope, we're not fighting that as well. We are, however, fighting this army here, which should technically be very easy pickings for me. Let's see how this goes. Come on. There we go, baby. There we go. That's another Stärkenverpenicurum. Superior Hussite Steel wins the day. And it looks like the Poles broke the alliance again. They made us their rival. Well, that is probably for the best because I was going to puppet you anyway. Oh, we can also do Control the Electors mission now. So we get Diplomats +1 for 15 years. And Charles IV. Okay, so we need to be an empire to get this done now. You also get permanent claim on every Holy Roman province that is not owned by the imperial members. That means no provinces because there's no more HRE, sir. Excuse me? You know, since we've won quite a few battles, we actually might be able to peace out. Okay, you know what? I'm actually gonna do that. Screw it, man. 160 ducats is better than losing the war, right? End of the day. Plus, we achieved what we wanted to do, which was to dismantle the HRE. So the next time that we're gonna be attacking the Austrians, we're also gonna humiliate them. The Taborites were one of the two major, well, technically there were three of them, but one of the major Hussite sides. The Taborites were a little bit more radical, and they got their name from the city of Tabor, which was their center from which they operated predominantly, and they wanted to be a lot more strict on the Catholics, and let's just say that it's probably better that they didn't get their way. No, you don't, you scumbags. What on earth is happening in the Balkans? Naxos managed to get a hold of Achaia, and the Byzantines lost a major war against the Venetians, that's for sure. However, they still exist. Oh, for a short period. Looks like the Ottomans are about to wipe them out, actually. Oh my god, yes please. We get 10% morale of armies, army tradition, and prestige. Hails to the give me them jousters, boys. I'm just imagining some Hussite jousting soldiers marching in with literal chalices on top of their lances. Alright, let's go ahead and attack Magdeburg. I think I'm going to give these lands over to Brandenburg, since I'm going to be vassalizing Brandenburg anyway. And I kind of feel like they definitely want to grab a hold of these lands. 100% they want. There you go. That's a full annexation for Monsieur Magdeburg. Alright, let's go ahead and get the Polish diplomacy, since we get the union on the Pole CB, and the truce is going to finish with them in a few years. This also means we start with the Premisil heritage, which starts to add up. Diplo annexation -5 governing capacity, and the more missions we do, the more it improves. Another 5% diplo annexation cost, and another 50 governing capacity. Then once we get Bohemian Commonwealth, another 15 and 200, and it's so on. It's just all of these missions add up to it. It is beautiful. Same here. Lion of the Empire means we got restoration of union on Saxony and Brandenburg. So I had to wait a little bit after the truce was over in order to seize crownlands, because I don't know how many of you noticed this, but I actually forgot to seize crownlands before the Saxon War. I should have had 25% crownlands by now. Bro, I did not just get +1 stability and then -1 stability. It's the most EU4 moment right there. Let's go. Restoration of union. I might also need to get some mercenaries. Let's see. What is this? I can call in mines as well. Okay. Let's go mines. Let's go. Diplomatic insult. I love this event. This is the best one because it offers you 60 relations with all of your neighbors, which is just free relations, really. And since we dismantled the HRE, everybody's been gobbling up everybody else around. Check this out. Trier completely wiped out Lorraine. Goslar is trying to wipe out Saxony and kind of succeeding together with Anhalt. And there's just so much mischief around here. The Hanseatic League took over Lüneburg and Saxe-Lüneburg and so on. No, you don't. Freaking scumbag Poles trying to wipe out my vassals' armies. Excusez-moi. This actually might be a little bit tougher than the Austrian and the Saxon war, because the Poles are pretty strong and they don't actually have as many disunited armies around the realm as the other alliance blocks had. I think in this case I'm just gonna have to grind this out, as in I'm gonna have to just win battle after battle and just wipe out their manpower pool. Sieging down Volgast made me realize that I'm so hyped for EU5, because in EU5 we're actually gonna see more of a Slavicized Pomerania than it is in EU4, right? Because by 1444 it was of course predominantly Germanics. In the 1300s it should still be a sizable amount of Slavic Pomeranians, Kashubians, and whatever they're called in this area. So really interested to see how that's going to play out from a cultural perspective. Hey, there you go, 21%. Does that mean we can piece them out? It does, actually. All right, let's get some money from them. And can we go war reparations? No, that's a bit greedy. There you go, this should work. Oh, the dance. Oh, holy shit. Okay, hold up a second. Why do we have massive Teutonic order? What happened here? When were they at war with the Lithuanians? I didn't even notice this. Did they just finish a war with the Lithuanians and they got the Danzig Federation event? It did happen, didn't it? Burgundian inheritance. Let's see who got that. Naples! What? That is wild. I genuinely do not think that they can hold on to that. Plus, there's no more HRE now, so I kind of feel like Burgundy is just flat out gonna become an independent nation as consequence of this. Oh, look at that. Matthias Hunyadi is the heir of the Hungarians, which means we're gonna be able to get our particular personal union on them. And we got Gold Rush. Oh my god, we can get a little bit of money too. We could actually get up to 650 if we just carry on with this war a little bit longer. But I kind of just want to finish it so I can focus on the Hungarians, and this way finishing this a little bit earlier also lowers the aggressive expansion as time progresses, right? Alrighty, boys. Since we did this particular mission by getting a union on Poland, they become our historical friends. So not only do we get the diplo annexation cost modifier and governing capacity, but we also get some relations with the Poles, bringing them up to still -200. Okay, yeah, we got quite a quite a way to go, I guess. Looks like we can ask for knowledge sharing from Passau. We're gonna do that so we can spread over Renaissance in our lands a little bit faster. And we're gonna go over our force limit a tiny bit in order to get that PU restoration on Hungary. Otherwise, we're not gonna be able to do it any other way. We do have more units than the Hungarians. We can get Ze Restaurationus Unionus. Oh, this should be fairly easy. We're gonna call in land shit, so it's even easier, I guess. Ah, yes, beautiful. Hungary is focusing on my personal union rather than attacking me, which is amazing because my personal union member is still disloyal because Hungary is attacking their provinces. Despite being disloyal, they're still gonna protect their provinces. Ah, what a beautiful day in the lands of the Hungars. Hey, we went from -200 to -199. Progress, guys. Massive progress. Would have been cool if they kept the union with the Lithuanians, because then I assume I would be getting Lithuania as a junior partner too, right? And we got the pest with the cunning use of raid. See, I used the bug spray because pest is it's a pest. I'm progressing. I'm not using Hungary jokes anymore. See, guys, come on, this is a new joke. Shut up, okay? And we also unlocked our very first tolerance of heathens, tolerance of heretics, national idea, which is not so bad, I guess, but everyone is going to be Hussite, so it's not going to make much of a difference, to be fair. Also, we are not that close to getting this institution. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this a little bit ahead of time because I do need some innovativeness. Is that the first time we got it? No, it's not. Okay, so we do have 10.9 innovativeness, so that's pretty good. Oh, right, because we did get the aristocratic ideas before anybody else. All of Bohemia was converted to Hussite, so now we get the Hussite Center of Reformation spawn in Prague. It will gradually convert provinces around it that are not yet Hussite to Hussite. Once we get 30 provinces that are going to be Hussite and 10 countries that are going to be Hussite, we're going to unlock the Rekindle the Hussite Wars aspect, which we really would like to get our hands on. Basically a free Deus Vult CB. Hey, one more stability, yay! And we crushed some Hungarian scum. Now, seeing as we've completely broken their spirits, we're gonna go for the union with Hungary, as well as we're gonna ask for all the money they got. Now, this is gonna be a little bit of an issue because we're gonna get a bit of a tiny coalition here, so we're gonna need to chill. We're genuinely not doing anything after this except chilling. In fact, we're known as the chillers. Everybody knows that watches my videos. I love to chill, and we got Croatia as a union too, since they were Hungary's union before. Hey, we can adopt the institution finally. Classic diet of Hungary and Croatia, where Hungary inherits Croatia, so instead of wasting 2 diplo slots, we only have 1 for this whole massive region over here. Now we can also do claim the Holy Crown, and that also gives us a very, very unique decision here. Transfer the ownership of Nitra. Once we get them to 50 Liberty Desire, we're going to be able to get every province in Slovakia essentially as our own without having to integrate the Hungarian crown, meaning it's going to be significantly easier afterwards to also integrate them because there's going to be less provinces that we need to integrate, and we're essentially going to become Czechoslovakia. All right, speaking of, let's also start integrating the Silesians now. We've also taken the spot of Austria as a great power, so because they're not a great power anymore, we also get the claims on Austria itself, permanent claims for that matter, and we got Ottokar's legacy. Once we do get some provinces in Austria, we're going to get permanent claims on more German lands, as well as core creation cost minus 10%. Now, here's the question. We humiliate the Austrians when we enact this mission. Do we get permanent 25 power projection or permanent core creation cost reduction? Or both? Yay, we got faceting into the Hori. Hell yeah, boys. That means we now got the gems over here, and this is just a ridiculously powerful, from an economic perspective, province now too. Since I'm swimming essentially in money, I'm going to sell some titles too. I'm going to seize crownlands, and this is worth it because the 700 ducats we got, we can use to build workshops. 0.5 ducats from Dorado Hori. Let that sink in. We get half of ducat from just 1 province from building that building. That is just delicious, guys. And in case you're wondering, we do have a little bit of a coalition. It's the Austrians and the Teutons and a couple of other small nations here and there. Who would have imagined, right? Nobody. Especially, no, pretty much everybody. Everybody would have imagined it. Yeah, we knew that. We knew it's coming. coming. Let's also not forget to lower the autonomy in Silesia, because remember, whenever you integrate your subjects, the provinces of your subjects will have 60 autonomy by default, unless you have cores on those provinces, in which case you will have 0 autonomy on any cored provinces of your vassal that you integrated. Alrighty boys, we got our workshops, which means we can do Bohemian industry, and we can also do Bohemian crystal for that matter, giving us the clear as crystal event, which gives a little bit of development and some extra prestige, and it increases the cost of glass, I believe, was it? Yes, glass is increased by 25%. If we had some more glass provinces, we could also increase the level of the workshop to a counting house, but I'll be honest, I'm a little bit too lazy to get that done. Now we also can do the golden city, which is going to give until the end of the game a production efficiency and tax modifier, as well as 200 splendor. And because we also have below 50 liberty desire for Hungary, because we're supporting loyalists in it, we can do the decision to transfer over Nitra to us, meaning we have now gotten this as our main provinces. We do have to core it up actually, which kind of sucks PP. I was kind of hoping that we get it as cored provinces, but it's fine. Better than nothing, I guess, right? Look how beautiful we are. We're amazing. I love it. That also means we can do a recovery of Nitra now. Boom shakalaka dooms. Every province in the area of Nitra gets 1 random development, and Slovak is an accepted culture. Oh, hey, we can do this easily. We can just build a market in Krakow and improve it a few times. So realistically, once we got 6 more provinces from the Austrians, we can reforge Greater Moravia. Well, no, we actually also need 500 development, so that means we would need to basically integrate one of our unions, won't we? I do hope you guys enjoyed this little Bohemia highlight. I had a lot of fun playing with the new and improved mission tree that the Bohemians got. If we get 5,000 likes on this video, I'm gonna do a brand new Theodoro video highlighting the newest mission tree from the Winds of Change for that nation. Don't forget to also subscribe if you'd like to see more EU4 content in the future. Love you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.